Okay, so you want to go to law school, or maybe you're thinking about it.
A lot of people will be scared here. A lot of people will be scared, and I'll name.
Hello all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Christina, also known as Nana the Esquire here on YouTube, and today's video will be on things that I wish I knew before I started law school. Before we jump into this video, if you are thinking about law school, do not be afraid to go. Just do it. You don't need any family who are lawyers. You don't need any experience as a paralegal. Law school is a self-contained universe. You don't need anything. So don't feel intimidated by the fact that you might know less than someone else. You can go straight into law school like I did, not having any legal experience, and be very successful. So don't be afraid of that process. Even if you know no one who went through that process, you can still do it. This channel will also be a resource for that content. So if you are afraid of law school, if you're afraid of the process, I'm here to tell you, you can do it. And I will also have more videos detailing the exact process from high school to being sworn into an attorney. If I can do it, then you can do it. So jumping right into the video, the first thing I wish I knew is that you do not need any type of law-related degree to become a lawyer. You can literally study anything you want and still go to law school. As long as you have a bachelor's degree in anything, and I do mean anything, you can go to law school. I know a lot of people have this misconception that you need to study political science. You have to study legal studies, which I did because that's gonna give you a leg up in law school. Well, I'm here to tell you, nothing you do in undergrad is really gonna give you a leg up in law school. The truth is that law school is different than anything else you've experienced in undergrad or in high school or in any pre-law program you've been in, and it's not gonna compare to anything else. Like I said, I did legal studies in undergrad, and all of our professors in that program were actual attorneys. And I will tell you, the courses were completely different. The exams were completely different. How I studied for the tests were completely different. Okay, I just want to tell you and reassure you that you can literally study anything in undergrad. Just get your bachelor's degree and you are good to go for law school. So tip number 2 also kind of bounces off tip number 1. No one knows more than you. So do not have imposter syndrome when you go into law school. You might see people who have been paralegals for years, people who have literally had entire careers, and you might be intimidated by that because you feel like they have a lot more knowledge than you. They're coming in with so much more things that are gonna help them in law school. And like I said before, it will not. You guys are all gonna be in the same boat, and you are not going to be any more behind than anyone else in your class, okay? All you need to know, you will be taught during law school. Don't feel like you have to take a gap year to get more experience in the legal field. You don't. If you feel like you really don't know what you want to do, you don't want to waste hundreds of thousands of dollars on law school and you're not sure, of course, go ahead, get that experience, see if you like it. But if you know for sure that's what you want to do, you've always known that's what you want to do, then just go for it. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll finish. Tip number 3, reading is homework, okay? I know that in undergrad, when we heard that reading was an assignment, that meant we had no homework. We were chilling for the night. We were watching Netflix, okay? That is not the case here. It is very important that you do read the cases assigned because they will call on you. And I'll discuss that in the next tip. But reading is homework, just know that. And reading will take you a lot longer than what you might think it will. You might be assigned 30 pages to read or 50 pages to read. You might think to yourself, 30 pages a night, 50 pages a night, not that hard, I can do it. But it's not that easy. And the reason why it's not that easy is because a lot of the terminology that you're gonna be reading will be brand new to you. And a lot of the cases that you're gonna be reading your first year of law school, and especially your first semester of law school, will be older cases because you are kind of progressing on the law. So you're going to have to start at the beginning. You might have to actually go into a Black Laws dictionary, which is basically a dictionary for legal terms, and look up some of those words so you can understand what you're reading. So I will tell you, those 30 pages will easily take you 2, 3, 4 hours when you first start. It will get better as time goes on. So don't feel bad if you're taking a lot of time to read cases. It will take you a lot of time to do your readings, but you do have to do them. They are not optional. The fourth thing I wish I knew before coming to law school was the Socratic method of learning. So the Socratic method of learning is basically the way that professors teach you the law. What it is cold calling. Some of them might go in alphabetical order, some of them might pick from a lottery, but essentially it's all the same in the sense that they do pick a couple of students to answer questions on the assigned reading. You will be put on the spot, okay? It's not an optional thing. It's not a, oh, I want to opt out of that. No, that's how they teach. Everyone's going to be cold called. Everyone is going to be put on the spot. That is why I said in the last tip, reading is mandatory in law school. You have to make sure that you're not only reading, but you also have to make sure that you are briefing your cases so that when your teacher does call on you, which eventually he or she will, you will be able to actually answer the questions asked. You will be nervous your first cold call because no one wants to feel like they don't know enough. They don't want to feel like they're dumb. They don't want to be embarrassed. You might not understand the black letter law of the case, which is basically the rule that comes from that case. And if you are cold called that day, then what I would do is just say, okay, here are the facts, and here's what I interpreted the rule to mean. I don't know if I understood that correctly, and your teacher will correct you. I mean, they understand you are a first-year law student. There is a learning curve. They will not crucify you during cold calling because you don't understand the rule. They know that. They know you're brand new at this. They will definitely help you through it, okay? That is their job, is to help you understand these rules. So don't feel scared about, oh my gosh, I didn't understand. I didn't get it. If you feel like, okay, well, I don't understand what's going on in this case, I might be cold called tomorrow, email them, tell them, here's what I read, here's what I understood it to mean. Is that correct? And the worst they can do is not answer your email, but they will answer your email, okay? So please do not feel afraid of being cold called. We all were cold called. Now, I know people messed up during cold calls my 1L year for a fact, but I could not tell you any names because I don't remember. I was too stressed to remember anyone's name who messed up a cold call, okay? So you'll be fine. Even if you messed up, people will not remember it. You might have heard the term outlining, but you don't really know exactly what it is, or maybe you have a vague understanding of what it is, but you're not really sure. So outlining is basically just taking notes for law school. Because law school is a comprehensive type of exam style, you are being tested on everything you learned throughout that semester. And so the outline is a way for you to document all of your notes and condense them into a document that you can review for that exam. So basically what you do is you focus on that black letter law. And you might not really know what to focus on at the beginning. It won't be intuitive to know exactly what's important at first. But you will get the hang of what the teacher is trying to basically aim at. And as you go on in your law school courses, you'll kind of understand what they're looking for. You really have to be able to get the big picture of what the case is about, as opposed to all of the small details. Once you start understanding the black letter law and really focusing on the very important facts that make a difference in the rule, then you'll really be successful in outlining it. So 6 is jobs, okay? 1L jobs. Really, it doesn't come into play until the second semester of your first year of law school. At that point, you'll kind of have more of an idea of what's to be expected with these law school exams. You'll still be pretty stressed, I would say, but you won't be as anxious about it. Your second semester is when you're really gonna have to start thinking about your jobs. So with jobs, of course, you're gonna want to network. Typically, law schools will have a lot of networking opportunities. It's always a good idea to have a card ready. I know I did. I went to Staples and got 150 cards printed for like 10 bucks. It had that I was a 1L at this and that law school, my number, and a preferred email address. And I would have that just in case, you know, I ran into someone at a networking event, I could give it to them. Of course, you're gonna be getting a lot of cards. It always looks really professional when you have a card as well, especially when you're the only law student with the card. It's gonna make you kind of stand out. I think it's always a good idea to, you know, go to these networking events, make sure that you are actually listening and writing down names. And also right after you go to those events, make sure that you are following up with that person. So right after the event, whether it be that night or the next day, email them and say, hi, I'm so-and-so, we met at this place. I love talking about X, Y, and Z. You know, I really would love to stay in contact as I'm interested in this area of law. You do not know who's gonna be the person to offer you a job position for your 1L semester. Everyone's kind of in the same boat in the sense that you guys all likely don't have much experience. So basically what's really important is your grades and your personality. So just follow up, because you never know where those contacts are going to lead you. And just taking a card from someone means absolutely nothing if you're not going to actually follow up on that. The last thing I wish I knew before starting law school was to become a bar rep, okay? So if you're wondering what that is, the major bar prep companies, which are Themis, Barbary, and Kaplan, they typically on each campus will have representatives that are hired to be on campus to help advertise their courses, because most of these bar prep companies, they'll have materials for you all the years of your law school journey, including your bar exam preparation, of course. And they really just want to make sure that you secure their company as your bar prep company early on. They will hire students in each class. By each class, I mean each year of law school, 1L, 2L, and 3L. They will help with the promotion of their programs. Essentially what a 1L rep is, like I said, each class will typically have a couple of students that help promote each bar prep course. So you can pick whichever course you want to kind of go with. But essentially what a 1L rep does is you will table for these organizations, and it is a non-paid position, but at the end of those 3 years as a rep, that company will give you a free bar prep course. So basically whichever course you start with 1L year will be the course you basically take the bar exam with. And so these bar prep courses can range from $1,500 to up to almost $4,000. And so they can become very pricey. So I recommend that you do try to become a bar rep if you can. All right, guys, so that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I will be doing a lot more videos on the law school admissions process and law school in general. So please do make sure you are subscribed and that you do click that bell button so that you do not miss any of that content that's coming to this channel. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.